Shalom, shalom. It is Sunday, September the 5th, and it's almost 5 p.m. We got back a little while ago from visiting my mom, so I figured I'd come out here and shoot the garden video, the garden tour video, and let's see what the garden looks like. First thing you'll notice is the sunflower heads are gone. Out of the 4 large sunflower heads I got, it was a gallon before it was dehydrated, and then I dehydrated it at the lowest setting so that the seeds are still viable. It was like 98 degrees. So the seeds are still viable for planting, and I put some aside for planting, and the rest is, it's actually a half a gallon of sunflower seeds that are for eating. So that was very exciting. That was my first year of harvesting sunflower seeds. I grew one sunflower one time, oh my goodness, about 20 years ago, 25 years ago. It's been a while. And it grew about 14, 15 feet tall because it was almost to the roof of the house that I was living in. And so that was my own, I didn't keep the seeds. The birds ate the seeds, so that was fine. I wasn't growing it for the seeds. I was growing it because, you know, I like sunflowers. And so that was the only experience I had of growing sunflowers. So this is the first year of preserving them. I didn't even know how to recognize when they were ripe and ready to take out of the head. And so I had to do some research on that. So basically, if the bottom side of the flower is turning brown, all the leaves are brown. Sorry about the sweating. So basically, if the seeds are starting to get stripes, then it's time to harvest. So those are pretty much the 3 indicators. My green stalk is looking a little bit sad. That's okay. I need to pop those out and plant some more stuff. I still have some spinach back there. That's good. I have some lettuces and some brassicas that I've started out as seedlings. They're on the deck, so they're acclimated to the weather outside, so that once they get a little larger, I can bring them out here, cover them in cloth. I got some tulle to cover them in, so it'll keep the white moths off of them. So my tomatoes are definitely getting ready to set some more fruit. If you're not aware, one of the easiest ways to identify when you have tomato hornworms is to come out at night and bring a black light flashlight and shine the light on the things, and the hornworms will glow. Well, I came out here last night and there were 9, I believe it was 9 hornworms that I found on here. 2 of them had the wasper seeds, the wasper eggs on them, the wasp eggs on them, and the rest of them, they just got squished. But the ones that had the eggs, I just plucked the leaf off and set them to the side. So, all right, so for those of you who aren't aware, this right here is a black light. It makes things glow. So when you have, you know, you've seen these when you've gone, sorry, Buffy, Mama didn't mean to crack you. So you've seen the black lights when you go skating or bowling or something. It makes everything a light colored glow. Well, it does that with the hornworms too. So if you take that at night, and it will make the hornworms glow, and you can find them easier and pick them off. I accidentally cracked my little fella with the black light. So he's not real happy with me right now, but he's not hurt. So back to the garden tour. So I got, I believe there were 4 right in this area right here on these couple plants right here that I got off last night. Getting some pretty good sized tomatoes right there. I did take out the tomatoes right here this past week. I harvested some basil and dehydrated it. Those plants right there are going to come out soon. Uh-oh. we have an interloper. So that tomato's not going to be any good. Something ate into it, so gonna toss it. These are putting on some new blossoms as well. I did have to come out here and tie these up. And look at this teeny tiny sunflower, right? It's so microscopic. That is one of the lemon queens, and it didn't do anything back here. It did not have enough sun, I'm thinking. I took out along this edge right here, I took out all of the kale that was there because I'm getting ready to plant some brassicas and some lettuces and things like that. And I popped a couple hornworms off right here on this side. And then the other hornworms I got were off of those back two beds back there. So we've had a couple of the sweet peppers right here. We had a couple of yellow ones that come off. We have not harvested in the last 3 days. We did one a little yesterday, nothing to like really brag about. Check that out. And there's my orange. All of these right here are starting to get peppers on them. This is my sweet chocolate right here, which has not started to turn yet. This one also is a sweet chocolate. And let's see, these are the yellow and red in this line right here. Right here we have these are the lilac bells, and I do have a small lilac bell right there. As you can see, now these are tripping over the so these right here are actually cow peas. We don't eat peas a lot, but I do like these as green beans, and this has been such a prolific producer this year. I'm really excited to plant, and I did plant some more this week. I planted some along in here, and then I planted some peas in the back one. Look at this. It's like Medusa. It's so hilarious. But I mean, look at the size of those pods. So we have been eating them like green beans, and they are super good. They're really good in stir fry, so if you want to try a stir fry and pop some of those in there if you have them, really good. Excellent. Now I'm not sure how I'm going to get those monsters down, possibly with a saw, but I'm not sure how I'm going to get it down with that little monster right there. He is spreading out his web to where he's covering almost all of the peppers. His web goes all the way out to here and all the way up to there on the green beans. So we have tons of mushrooms. I love this. Look at the pepper on that. This is the cobra, black cobra. Those aren't those beautiful? And they are black, so I'm interested to see what they taste like. They're shaped like a hot pepper. Somebody said that they were sweet. Based on the shape of it, I don't buy that. But we'll find out for sure eventually. We have some more poblanos right there, and the mystery pepper right here that Todd calls a shibi pepper. There were no hornworms on these. These are the Cherokee purples. I've only picked one hornworm off of these, and it was already dead because the wasps had gotten to it. This is the cayenne bed. As you can see, it's loaded with green cayennes and tons of new blossoms. And I still have a few of the black radishes still hiding out underneath there in the shade. The cayenne bed has put on some more growth. Check that out. when it's straight down, it comes to the top of my shoulder. So that's pretty tall. But we do have some that are ready to harvest. My guess is we'll probably come out here in the morning to do a harvest, because tomorrow is a holiday. Not a holy day, but a holiday, a secular holiday. So these are the Cubanelle. Those are super delicious. And these are the Anaheim back here. I picked off some hornworms off of this one yesterday. We've got some back there that are turning. You can see that back there. Yeah, not a whole lot over here, but there were still, you know, about 4 or so that were over here. These vines, I mean, look at this. This vine just does not want to climb up. It's like, no, let me sprawl along the ground. That's what happens when you go against nature. These are our Tabasco and our pimentos. In this bed we have our Fresnos also, and oh my gosh, you guys, you have got to try Fresnos. When they are dehydrated, they smell divine. And they have a little heat, they do, but it's not super heavy. And it's just really good. So I'm going to walk around this way. Sorry if I'm a little shaky. I am tired. We have been working crazy this week. I'll do a video about this in the kitchen, and we kind of did a partial redo of the kitchen, which I mentioned in the video last week. And so it was a total of 3 full days that I was working on that, and Todd just helped me put the shelves together, but the rest of it he left on me, so I did all of that. It was 3 full days that I was working on that, so that was half of this week. So here are our jalapenos, and they are starting to come on there like they should. Finally, we're getting some. And these are our pepperoncinis, still getting quite a bunch of these. This is the back side of our tomatoes. They have put on probably about another foot of growth. Yeah, about 6 inches to 8 inches of growth. Something was touching my foot. This week with all the rain, like there's some more that are turning, and most of them that we've been getting off the last week have been good. Most of the tomatoes we've been getting off of here this last week have been really good. They've not had the blossom and rot, so that's good. I'm relieved about that. I picked 2 hornworms off of this bad boy, and look at this. He is trying. He is trying to grow along the ground. I ended up having to cut my fingernails off because I could not get the tomato stain out from underneath my fingernails without soaking my hands in bleach, and I just, bleach and I do not get along. So, right in here I did plant some peas, 2 different kinds of peas, so we'll be watching those for some growth within the next week or so. These are really, really good peppers, and you really need to wait until the peppers turn red, because that's when they're ripe. I believe a lot of the problems that people have with the peppers is when they eat the green peppers, because they're not ripe. Green peppers are not ripe, so I believe that's a lot of the problem with people not being able to digest them well, and causing allergies to the nightshade family. That's just my opinion, based on some of the research that I've done, so take it for what it is. This is the back side of the cayenne, and you can see it too is just loaded with blooms. Absolutely love it. We got so many peppers off of these plants before, right before the drought, that we thought when the drought hit, it was about 3 weeks that we had no rain. Those of you who are local, you know what I'm talking about. You had the same issues, and we thought the garden was done. But when the rain came a couple, last week, I think, the week, at the beginning of last week, into the week before, they just almost immediately started putting on a new flush of flowers, both the peppers and the tomatoes. So that was very interesting to see how much the water content really affects how many blossoms that because it's still been just as hot, except for the last couple of days. It's been just as hot out here, but we've been getting the afternoon storms, and it's been watering, and the blooms are just coming on. So that's very good information to carry into next season. And Todd and I are making a huge list of things that we've learned this season that we're going to do a video on together about the garden, the things that we have learned, the lessons we've learned, things we're going to do differently for next year. So we're going to do a video about that. That's it's quite a bit. It's amazing what you can learn. You can think that you know a lot about growing things because you've done it your whole life, right? I mean, my neighbors jokingly tell me I have a green thumb. And I'm like, yeah, there's no such thing. You just have to care for your plants. And I'm kind of lackluster a little bit, especially when it gets really hot outside. So when it comes to caring for the plants. But so be looking for that towards the end of the season. Well, it'll be at the end of the season. So we're still compiling, because this is another lesson that we've learned, is the effect that water has on it. And if you've noticed, the rainwater is actually better for the plants than city water, for sure, because city water is bleached and chlorinated and fluorinated and just really bad for you and your plants. But we won't get into that any further than that. I would also like to say, I'm not an expert in gardening. I'm still learning as you are, but I love to be able to share what I have learned, how I've learned it, even when I make mistakes and don't do things quite correctly, or when I rebel and come up with different ways of doing things just to test them out, because you have the old wisdom, but has anybody tested it out? So I like to test out things just to see if they actually are true. There are a lot of old wives' tales that are not true, so I will say that. And we should always prove or test out information. So yeah, I'm really excited about how much the garden has put out already and how much it's going to. In the video that I do at the end of the season, I'm going to put in there what we have. I mean, I didn't weigh everything that's come out of the garden, but every time I pick the cowpeas that I call green beans, every time I pick those, I'm getting like 2 or 3 pounds off of those. So I haven't really weighed everything that's come out of the garden, but you know, I have measurement of the quarts, not counting what we've already used, just eating it every day, of what we've been able to preserve for that. I will say I learned about, one of my friends told me about the Three Rivers Homestead, their challenge about preserving something every day. Every bit counts. And I learned about that about the 17th of last month. So once I learned about it, I started doing that, implementing. Now I don't do that on Sabbath, but the days before Sabbath, it seems I'm able to preserve enough to account for if I did do it on Sabbath. So that's kind of an interesting little tidbit there. But I started, and I already have a huge list of things I've been able to preserve just in that short amount of time. So, I mean, I really think I think her name is Jessica from Three Rivers Homestead, is brilliant. That was a brilliant idea, genius, to encourage people to challenge people to preserve something every day, so that you have less waste of your harvest and more preserved for later use. So I think that'll do it for this video. Had a wonderful day visiting with my mom, and hello to the new subscribers. It's nice to have you here. So Yahuah bless you and keep you and give you shalom until next time. Yah bless.